It'd be very difficult to be anywhere in the world right now and know that the kingdom has also lost another great general in the faith. And I want to be careful because I don't think this is really a time for pithy, wise, brilliant commentary. I'll just share a quote you've probably heard before. This is where my mind went when I saw it. This is Tertullian was a early church apologist, early church's baby in the world, and he observed something in how the church grew and what sparked growth and revival. And he coined this phrase. He said, "The blood of martyrs is seed." And when I accidentally watched the video of the moment that Charlie Kirk was shot, and his blood was pouring out, I just couldn't help but remember that quote, "The blood of martyrs is seed." And then my mind went to John 12:24 when Jesus says, "I tell you the truth, unless a kernel of wheat is planted in the soil and dies, it remains alone. But its death will produce many new kernels, a plentiful harvest of new lives." I want you to know today, you probably have heard people say this, but Charlie was not murdered, he was martyred. And there is a difference. And I have to be honest, I can't think of, at least in my lifetime, where a Christian was martyred for their faith on American soil. Maybe you can think of one. I can't. I know there have been church shootings where it's sort of impersonal. Those people, well, I want to do violence to them. But this was about him and the message that he preached. This was personal. This was directed. This is kind of different. At least for me, it hit different. This was a martyrdom. And my first reaction was just deep sadness for our nation, for the kingdom, for his family. But the blood of martyrs is seed. And so we say, let it be. I love Shane Pruitt. He's a youth minister. I think he might be a Baptist youth minister. He wrote this. He said, "A hopeless world needs hope. A joyless world needs joy. A world full of conflict needs peace. A world full of death needs life. A world full of hate needs love. Hope has a name. Joy has a name. Peace has a name. Life has a name. Love has a name, and it's Jesus." There's a war raging for the next generation. That's really what this was about. Yeah. Who gets the heart of the next generation? That's President Trump actually said it very well in a tweet. He had a good tweet. What do you know? When he said Charlie understood and had the heart of a generation better than the next generation, better than anyone else. And that really is what this was about, is the heart of the next generation. And I don't know if you saw the recent Barna study that came out. Brace yourselves, boomers. Gen Z church attendance is increasing. Boomer attendance is decreasing. I just want to graciously suggest something to you. I've heard a lot from a generation speaking about the next generation. About how lost they are, how lazy they are, how whatever they are. They're coming to Jesus. Wake up. Cheer them on. Usher them in. Empower them. So we say, bring them in, Lord. Bring them in. bring in the next generation. You know, I like the Babylon Bee. They just had their highest engagement ever on anything they posted on social media. Do you know what the Babylon Bee headlines? It's just like a headline. The headline that has the highest engagement ever in Babylon Bee history was this: 12 million Charlie Kirks created overnight. And if you don't think he was murdered for his faith, if you think he was murdered for his politics and not his faith, you can actually look at social media and find the proof. I don't know if you know how X, Twitter works, but you can see what's trending on X. And obviously, anybody on social media, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to know what's trending right now on social media. You can't escape Charlie Kirk anywhere. And so X, the number one thing trending, Charlie Kirk. And then what X does, it's really cool now, is they go, this thing is trending, but it's trending with this topic. Charlie Kirk is trending with Jesus. This wasn't about conservatism. This wasn't about nationalism. This wasn't a pro-life thing or pro-marriage thing. This was about Jesus. And you can tell that everybody knows the main thing that he was about, because what are they searching? Charlie Kirk and Jesus. So I didn't mean to talk this long about it, but I think the name of his organization was prophetic. I think he thought his organization was going to be a turning point. I don't know that he realized, maybe he did towards the end, because he was talking this way actually, that his death would be a turning point. And so we say, come Lord Jesus. There's a window open, church, and I think this window's open for a limited amount of time. That's how the world works. There's a window open now, and now is not the time to shrink back. Now is the time to preach Jesus. Let's preach Jesus. Let's preach the love and the mercy and the grace of Jesus, the truth of Jesus. Let's reach out to people. Let's invite them to church. The next generation, especially, invite them to church. There's a window open.